Hi, my name is Julio Rivera. I'm an activist, journalist, adventurer, veteran, television presenter, and businessman. I've covered many of the major historical events going on around the world over the past several years, and after watching regime changes, conflict, and historic elections globally, I've come to the conclusion that the most underreported crisis in the world today can be defined in only one word: malware. That's why I've decided to dedicate my time to educating people everywhere and exposing the dangers that exist on the devices that we've become tethered to and depend on for so many reasons in our day-to-day life. Welcome to This Week in Malware. On This Week in Malware, we'll be covering the Djvu Ransomware family continues to grow with GGWQ, OOXA, and HHWQ Ransomware joining the group. The Djvu Ransomware family has spent the last few years making major headlines as it is still one of today's most prolific ransomware families. The Djvu clan releases several new variants frequently, and GGWQ Ransomware is one of the many strains that have emerged from the family. GGWQ Ransomware received its name based on the .ggwq suffix that it adds to encrypted files. This ransomware strain works exactly like the other Djvu Ransomware family members and spreads mostly via spam emails, social engineering, and compromised websites. The GGWQ Ransomware experience. Users will unwittingly download GGWQ Ransomware and find that their files have been encrypted and are now inaccessible. Victims will then find a ransom note on their desktop in the form of the .readme.txt document. In the ransom note, the cybercriminals request $980 for file decryption, but they're willing to lower that price to $490 in return for payment within 72 hours. The hackers also provide victims with contact information in the form of two emails: restorealldata@firemail and garentles@bitmessage.ch, and a Telegram account @datarestore. Victims are also asked to send one file to be decrypted for free as proof that the ransomware operators can unlock the files after receiving payment. As always, we strongly recommend that victims do not communicate with the hackers and refrain from paying any ransom, as paying does not guarantee that victims will receive a decryption tool. Surviving a GGWQ ransomware attack. In general, we strongly recommend users keep backups of their files on an external drive or virtual cloud storage to mitigate the trouble caused by ransomware infections. But if you find yourself infected with GGWQ ransomware, we recommend that you use a reputable anti-malware tool to scan for and remove the elements related to this nasty infection. The Djvu Ransomware family strikes again with OOXA Ransomware. Like other associated variants, this infection locks files and demands a ransom fee to restore file access. If you have a habit of downloading free or pirated software programs via torrent sites or cracked software sites, you may end up unknowingly installing threats like OOXA Ransomware on your machine. OOXA Ransomware locks various file types, including photos, music, documents, and videos. During the file encryption, OOXA Ransomware adds the .ooxa extension to affected files, leaving a ransom note on the user's desktop and in every folder that contains encrypted files. Unfortunately, an online decryption tool that would unlock files encrypted by OOXA Ransomware is not currently available. The only reliable way to recover infected files is to restore them from a backup. Victims may attempt to use alternative data recovery options, but there is no guarantee that alternative data recovery tools will unlock all the encrypted files. Once downloaded and installed, OOXA Ransomware employs the AES encryption algorithm to lock up important files. Afterward, it demands a ransom in exchange for the decryption key. The decryption key costs $980, but the cybercriminals will offer a 50% discount should the victim contact them within the first 72 hours after infection. The hackers can be contacted at support@bestyourmail.ch and support@sys@airmail.cc. We discourage establishing contact with the hackers, however, as there's no guarantee that they will provide decryption tools after payment or even communicate with you. How do I deal with the OOXA ransomware infection? To protect yourself from OOXA ransomware, you should invest in a reputable malware remediation tool to regularly scan for elements associated with this troublesome ransomware infection. Additionally, you should also back up your files on an external hard drive or cloud storage. HHWQ Ransomware is yet another infection that is part of the Stop Djvu Ransomware family. Like its many predecessors, it was discovered locking files and demanding a ransom fee to restore file access. If you tend to install applications from misleading and/or potentially unreliable third-party sites, you may end up unknowingly installing threats like HHWQ Ransomware on your computer. HHWQ Ransomware can encrypt multiple file types, including photos, music, documents, and videos. HHWQ Ransomware, upon file encryption, appends the .hhwq extension to affected files and leaves a ransom note named readme.txt on the user's desktop and in every folder containing encrypted files. The hackers also provide victims with contact information in the form of two emails: restore all data at firemail and gorentos@bitmessage.ch, and the Telegram account @datarestore. Unfortunately, the HHWQ ransomware victims do not have access to a free decryption tool at the moment. The best way to get the encrypted files back is to restore them from a backup. If you do not have a file backup, you can try researching the web for an alternative data recovery service that may possibly restore some of the encrypted files. However, there is no guarantee that these alternative data recovery tools will actually work. The hackers behind HHWQ ransomware promise to provide a file decryptor in exchange for a ransom payment. According to the ransom note, you're supposed to pay either $980 or $490 if the initial contact is established within 72 hours of the infection. However, it is most likely that you may pay and never receive the decryption tool with the key. For this reason, it is strongly recommended that you refrain from paying the hackers. In terms of distribution, HHWQ ransomware spreads similarly to many other ransomware variants. It generally comes via malicious spam email attachments, malware-laced websites, and peer-to-peer websites full of unreliable illegal software. How do I deal with the HHWQ ransomware attack? To protect yourself from an HHWQ ransomware attack, you should have a reputable malware remediation tool installed on your computer. That way you can constantly scan for elements associated with this troublesome ransomware infection, as well as other malware. To avoid having your files held hostage by ransomware, you should consider backing them up on an external hard drive or virtual cloud storage. You know, as I think about the dangers that exist online, not unlike the subjects we learned about in this video, I know I feel a lot better having an anti-malware program like SpyHunter installed in my PC, providing me the protection I need against malware, and I think you should too. SpyHunter 5's strongest features are found in its malware repair capabilities. SpyHunter 5's remediation algorithms dive deep into your system to remove and address complex malware issues affecting PCs today. While many anti-malware products only flag and quarantine malware and ultimately fail to fully remediate the root problem, the SpyHunter 5 remediation algorithm detects, quarantines, and programmatically repairs malware problems on your PC. SpyHunter 5 is a powerful PC utility that repairs malware threats in many cases where other competing anti-malware and antivirus programs may fail. To detect and remove malware for free, go to enigmasoftware.com and download SpyHunter today. Thanks for watching.